Hello everyone! Today our group will present you how our group analyzed DiDi's liquid problem within the rideshare industry. And before that, I'll introduce my member. First of all, hi, I'm Shakira.
Hi, I'm JiaYi.
Hi, I'm Darren.
Hi, I'm Christeen.
Now that we introduced ourselves, now let me begin this presentation by giving you the overview of the presentation today. We're gonna start with introduction and going on to insights, various perspective, SDG alignment, solution, conclusion, and also the references.
I will do a brief introduction of the topic. In the modern fast-paced society, ride-sharing services are an omnipresent solution that provides mobility, convenience, affordability, and accessibility to a large consumer base. However, a wicked problem that is still prevalent within the industry is the scarce ride-sharing services in most suburban areas, which has created a service vacuum and that needs a sustainable solution. The aim of this report, therefore, is to critically analyze this issue faced by the industry and DD in particular by synthesizing available literature on the subject, propose a hypothesis that delves to the root cause of the problem based on consumer experiences on rideshare services in suburban areas, and align the problem to identified sustainable development goals. Finally, based on the analysis findings, the report will conclude by offering feasible solutions that DD could adapt to extend its services to suburban and remote areas while promoting sustainability. We believe that by addressing this problem, we would be able to contribute to the advancement of a robust and sustainable rideshare industry.
For the research analysis part, we have identified the main primary and secondary insights that we believe is the root cause of the wicked problem. Firstly, the primary insight that we have identified is the lack of female representation in the rideshare industry. Through academic articles, it has been revealed that only 7.2% are female drivers, which suggests the Australian rideshare industry is still heavily male-dominated. This can present significant concerns coming from a customer's perspective, especially from a female rider. It has been studied that more than 40% of female riders would prefer a female driver over a male driver, as it will make them feel more safe and comfortable when they're traveling alone at night or in unfamiliar areas. Secondly, the most common secondary insights that we have identified were the geographic disparities in service coverage and availability. This disparity in accessibility and reliability can be extremely challenging and frustrating for customers, especially those currently residing in economically disadvantaged areas and newly developed neighborhoods. It has been identified that riders living in disadvantaged areas typically have an average wait time of 7 minutes to be accepted for rides. However, for customers who live closer to the CBD, the average wait time is roughly 4 minutes. These primary and secondary insights combined becomes a major issue for riders, as the lack of gender diversity in the industry can intensify the existing inconsistency in coverage and availability in outlying suburbs. A challenge that can arise is the ability to encourage more females to join due to various factors such as safety concern. And when combined with newly developed areas with inadequate road infrastructure, it can pose a threat for female drivers, as studies have highlighted that 73% of drivers who have encountered sexual harassment are all females driving in areas they aren't familiar with. Therefore, the need to prioritize safety and implement security protocols for female drivers can boost confidence and encourage more females to join, which can also expand service availability and coverage at the same time.
Next up, I'll be speaking about the various perspectives. For this part, we have conducted interviews with 12 different individuals just to get a better insight of the issues faced by DD, based on the lack of safety derived from the lack of female drivers, and also inconsistency in suburban areas in terms of service coverage from rideshare companies. We have categorized them into an empathy map, which consists of who we are empathizing with in this case, so that would be our suburban clientele and also female clientele who do not feel safe at night, especially with the lack of female drivers, and also what do they need to do differently given these circumstances? What do they see in the immediate marketplace? And what do they say about it? And what do they do about it? And also, what do they hear other people say? And on top of that, how do they feel about it in terms of pains and gains? So basically, advantages and disadvantages. When conducting the interviews, we had asked questions based on whether participants felt that there was a shortage of female drivers in the workforce, and whether it had affected anyone in terms of safety, and also why they thought there was a lack of female drivers. And the majority of interviewees had stated and agreed that there was a lack of female drivers, and it is due to like safety concerns, and with especially operating at night. And many rideshare companies require drivers to operate at night, and at night that's where the majority of crimes occur. So that's why there's a bit of a safety concern in there. And in the context of geographic disparities, questions such as whether they have experienced differences in wait times and availabilities in suburban areas compared to urban and metropolitan areas, and the majority of interviewees had indicated that they had to endure longer waiting times in the suburbs, and on top of that, they even have to wait for an extended amount of times for rides to be accepted out in the suburban areas, let alone waiting for rides to arrive. Given these insights, it is clear that DD definitely has a golden opportunity to fill such gaps to potentially improve.
Moving on to the SDG alignment. First, under the SDG 5 for gender equality, we are taking a significant step to empower women within the DiDi workforce, building on the success of initiatives like DiDi Woman in Mexico, which allows female driver to exclusively pick up only female passenger, and DiDi Australia can also explore this as well too. And this is not only enhance safety, but also promotes economic empowerment by fostering an inclusive works environment. This shows that DiDi commitment to increase female representation across all roles, particularly in leadership position, to challenge and change the gender stereotype in driving sector. Next, we're moving on to the SDG 8, which focuses on decent work and economic growth. If DiDi is implementing targeted initiatives to create more inclusive and equitable workplace, which includes advanced safety feature tailored for female driver and performance-based financial incentive for all driver, which allows them to work productively without compromising their personal life, it will be aligned with the SDG 8. And also, in alignment with SDG 9, DiDi can enhance their technological infrastructure to better serve suburban and rural areas. By optimizing driver routes and availability through advanced algorithm, DiDi may decrease wait time and improve service efficiency. Localized ride-sharing initiatives are also being considered to leverage community-specific knowledge and meet the unique local needs. And under SDG 11, DiDi can focus on extending their reach into the suburban rural areas, increasing the driver density through focus and recruitment retention strategies. And this includes training new drivers from these communities and encourage the adoption of environmentally friendly vehicles like electric or hybrid models to reduce environmental impact and promote sustainable transportation solution. And by aligning with SDG 5, 8, 9, and 11, DiDi is not just addressing internal challenges but also contributes to a more inclusive, innovative, and sustainable urban future. This effort positions DiDi as a leader in sustainable urban development and demonstrate their commitment to being a pioneer in a ride-sharing industry where business growth and social responsibility go hand in hand.
Now, let us look at solutions, or how might we address the wicked problem. The first solution is to retain and attract female drivers. To enhance female participation in the rideshare industry, DiDi can strategically position female drivers near public transport hubs, especially during peak hours. This approach not only boasts female representation, but also meets the increased demand for short rides in suburban areas. By creating designated zones for female drivers based on local demographics and ride demand patterns, DiDi empowers them to work within their preferred areas. This gives them greater control over their schedules and the types of rides they accept, addressing the challenge of uneven service scope across geographic locations. Additionally, as exampled by DiDi Mexico, DiDi Australia can collaborate with organizations focused on women empowerment to implement programs that provide training, support, and resources to female drivers. These efforts align with Sustainable Development Goals 8 and 5, promoting decent work, economic growth, and gender equality. By offering accessible and manageable work opportunities, DiDi not only enhances the quality of life of female drivers, but also contributes to broader economic development. The next solution is to partner with suburban independent taxi drivers. Work suggests that in suburban areas where ride-sharing services are scarce, taxi drivers often use independent platforms to schedule rides. DiDi can address the geographic disparity by establishing contracts with these independent taxi drivers, distinct from traditional ride-hailing providers. This initiative allows DiDi to expand its service footprint into untouched areas within its network while promoting collaboration and inclusivity between traditional taxi services and modern ride-hailing platforms. DiDi would benefit by leveraging existing infrastructure and expanding service coverage to untapped areas or newly developed areas. DiDi can contribute to the economic and community development, which directly correlates with the SGD 11 on making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. The final solution is to introduce carpooling option. Integrating a carpooling option to DiDi's platform allows for efficient resource allocation and increased mobility in suburban areas. This feature not only generates additional income for drivers and DiDi, but also provides cost-effective and reliable transportation options for passengers. By reducing vehicles on the road and minimizing carbon emissions, DiDi contributes to environmental conservation and urban congestion reduction. Moreover, carpooling fosters social connectivity among passengers, promoting inclusivity and community cohesion, strategically aligning with Sustainable Development Goals 9 and 11 that promote sustainability, innovation, and industry.
To conclude everything, we had discussed the wicked problems, which mentions the underrepresentation of female drivers and geographic disparities in suburban and rural areas, and how it impacts customer safety and effectiveness of the services, respectively. As per our interviewees, they stated that addressing these issues will definitely improve consumer satisfaction and reliability of services whilst aligning with user expectations and sustainable development goals. The solutions that were proposed include a potential expansion into new regions through partnering with suburban independent taxi drivers, improve safety precautions for female drivers, and last but not least, carpooling options. And should these solutions be followed, it would definitely improve DiDi's services all around and also strengthen the trust from consumers as well. Thank you very much.